I spent the last week talking to a person who has literally been trying to start an agency and run an online business for over a year and a half.
Now, do you have any sales calls at all booked ever? Like anything coming up by chance?
No, not really.
And still doesn't make more than $500 a month.
But you're sitting on a product you're selling over and over again for $100 to 3 different people, which just screams to me, I'm half-assing this because I don't need it.
It is an absolute waste of time, and he was making a number of mistakes that I see over and over and over again.
But for like right now, right, if I go here, if you say you're going into groups and you're doing stuff, you're obviously not adding targeted friends, right? You've only got about under 1,000 people on here. So when you do the posts, you're not going to get any traction, right? So, but also, who do you add when you're working with 3 different niches?
This is going to be part of an ongoing show called the Agency Rescue Show, where we are going to save some online businesses.
I think to flip that is not going to be that difficult because you have so many nuggets of what it should be all laid out, and you can clearly do some of the the marketing setups, the funnels, the copy. All of it is not that. So you have a foundation here where you've clearly hung out in the space long enough to know what you should be doing, but you're not doing it.
And this guy is going to be one of the first ones. He has been pulling himself in multiple directions.
To be entirely honest, you don't have a business right now.
Yeah.
You have an idea, and even that idea is being split in so many different directions. Like you have no sales call, you have no offer, you don't know who you're talking to, and you're making no money.
Getting addicted to shiny object syndrome and not making the commitment or being willing to get uncomfortable.
But don't be despaired, man. I know I'm talking a lot of shit right now. I want to also say, I keep saying this, I can tell you're smart. I can tell there's a lot there that you should be able to make this happen.
I spent the entire week with him, absolutely top to bottom his business, reviewing everything with him, fixing it, and I'm putting it all into this one easy to consume episode so that if you're in a similar situation, you can rescue your agency too. Let's dive in.
Again, we're going to dive into it, but also coaching and road mapping session and that kind of stuff, and we'll get some good shit done at that point.
So before actually doing the coaching call, I wanted to get to know these agencies, these online business owners, to see what it is they've been trying to do, what it is that their offer is, who they're trying to help, and if they have any clue at all what they're actually doing. So this one here, Steven, actually has a good head on his shoulders. I did a research call. You'll be able to see some of that with them. And when he submitted his application, it kind of looks like he's been trying for a while. He has 4 clients, but he's only making $500 a month.
The first thing that I see on your application here that really throws me for a loop is 4 clients, and 10 clients is the biggest amount you've had, and it says you're making $500 a month, and the biggest revenue was $1,000 a month. So you're doing about $100 a client right now. Is that correct?
With those 4 clients, so very confused on what he's doing. The largest amount of clients he's ever had is 10. Largest amount of revenue he's ever had is $1,000. So this is the trap that some of these agencies that are embracing the SaaS model, the GHL thing, are falling into. Endlessly cycling through a bunch of clients and not making a lot of money.
Roughly, yeah.
From what I gathered, and just for the benefit of the people out there that might see some of these cuts and stuff, right? There's a lot going on. So the little bit amount of money and then a whole bunch of different funnels that seem to all have products and different target markets. Like this is, to be frank, man, I can see why you're probably struggling just right out the gate. It's a low amount of revenue and it's a hell of a lot of directions that you're pulling.
Yeah.
What he thinks is holding him back is building a laser-focused lead system. The age-old thing of, hey, maybe ads will save me, maybe some more outreach will save me, some of this stuff can actually save me. But the real problem gets pretty obvious about 2 parts in to his first thing here, which is who was your offer for? Local service providers and also coaches.
Doing websites, e-commerce sites, that kind of stuff. Got into high level about a year ago, and liked the idea of the agency model. Got confused to shit with the offer everything, right? Because it's great. And then I picked up coaching clients, and I understand the coaching business quite well. So I was thrown a red herring by going after coaches, course creators, that kind of stuff.
I offer 2 things, coaches and local trades. Somebody tell me out there in the comments if you think that that is a good idea to offer to 2 niches that are coaches and local trades. These 2 types of businesses that have absolutely nothing in common with one another. There are multiple problems that can fix the offer here. Online reputation, get leads.
So why do you think, what makes you know the coaching industry quite well? Where does that statement come from?
Having been a coach and someone that coaches And most of my coaching clients have been coaches, ironically, because I'm a business. So I'm outside of this. I work in IT for large companies. So I understand revenue.
You still run that business right now? Is that why you're able to survive on such a low amount?
Yeah. So I work. So currently, the way I'm currently able to survive is I have a full-time job. I head up a solution architecture team for a managed service provider. So I'm a techie by trade.
So he's again talking in his own voice. This is not using customer language. This isn't saying I'm going to get local business people the jobs that they want, right? This is saying I can help you get Facebook leads using Facebook ads and fix your online reputation. This is all big brain, supposedly marketing jargon crap that doesn't mean anything.
That's a whole other job then. So what was the coaching thing? You're saying coaches, you coached people for a while. What did you do? Who did you coach, and what was the achievements that you had over there? Like what?
Okay, so coaching was more around helping them with sales, and so most coaches have clients but don't understand. In order to grow, I need to set myself some targets. I need to set myself some boundaries. And I need to focus really on proactively increasing my client base, increasing my revenue. They kind of just go around in circles. So mine was more around, have you got processes, have you got technology, and have you got the right training and mindset and tools to grow your business?
Before you jumped in, so you're doing sales for them, is that correct? Sales coaching?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, kind of.
Coaching coaches on how to do sales for their programs. Well, what did you do for sales before deciding to coach them though? Like what did you achieve in the sales industry before?
Oh, okay. So in pre-sales, in my full-time world, I do the solutioning, which is the techie bit, but then I've done the pitching, the closing. So that's anything from a deal size of a few grand MRR up to millions of MRR. So
you're trying to bridge real world coaching into like what you're doing for your IT business over into coaching sales. Stuff. Okay.
Describe your avatar below. Local service providers doing at least 2 to 3 years. Relevant links. If we go through the links, you're going to notice things like skyrocket your local business without overwhelming potential. Stop missing sales. 85% of people that call won't get. I don't know why he's got 4 or 5 different pages. All of these different things seem to say different stuff. Again, he's got local trade pages. He's got coach pages. You can tell that this guy is making a whole bunch of offers. He obviously has a little bit of skill, and you'll see when I talk to him, I can tell he's not dumb. And these funnels are actually fairly well designed. It's just that he's trying to do a million things at once and doesn't actually have a business yet.
I had to dig through, and obviously a lot of my messages pertain to coaching clients, so they were a bit crap. So what it told me was, so I sent you one which was more conversational, but it's still quite crap. It's a bit sort of, I was trying to do a bit more discovery, but what that's told me is I've been too comfortable and I haven't done enough outreach.
So you decided because you did that for a little bit, you can work with coaches. Keep going.
Yeah, I did. And then I realized coaching was quite difficult to sell to, because you've got coaches that are just starting and don't really know what they want to do, and that's really hard to manage. And I was spreading myself too thin with the high level offer, because it was kind of like, oh, okay, you can have your coaching platform, your courses and all this other stuff, and it was becoming too long of a sales process. I was getting a lot of knockbacks and a lot of rejections.
It almost seems like he's just punching out ideas, building a page every time. He's doing the exact opposite. In the GSD, what we tell people to do is make things simple, frictionless, and quick action. Get shit done quickly, because the market needs to tell you what is your optimal selling strategy.
I want to be honest with you, right? It sounds like you did coaching in a whole different industry, and then you came over here and you did sales in a whole different industry. You come over here and you do have sales skills, but they're not in the high ticket industry. And then you try to get it done with a bunch of high level services even before you have your initial product proven. And then that muddies the water even more. And then you made basically, to be frank, nothing, like barely any money.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't necessarily agree with your assessment already that, I have experience in the coaching industry and I like coaches as clients because of that, right? It kind of sounds like maybe you like the idea of coaches, but you haven't really had a lot of success in there. And it's just maybe deflecting from the other things that you might actually be able to do.
If you do what Steven's doing here, which is actually spending all your time, investing money, resources, time, all this stuff on building, but the revenue's not there and nobody gives a shit, then you're just wasting your time. Doesn't matter how nice these pages look, you aren't going to be able to get anything done.
if you can work on who do you want to talk to by Friday? If you can work,
I'm 80% where I think I know what that looks like. Okay, so good. Last week I think I got to builders and roofers were the two that I got to.
Yeah,
this week.
I love roofers, man. I can give you some. I'm gonna give you some bonus assets and that kind of stuff, so I can check in on you as well. So, just get your thoughts together based on this conversation. We went over a lot, and we'll talk on Friday, and we'll get that sales role play in the middle. Friday is gonna be a straight. Again, we're gonna dive into it, but also coaching and road mapping session and that kind of stuff, and we'll get some good shit done at that point.
Perfect. Thanks, Cody.
Awesome, Steven. Appreciate you, man. We'll see you then.
And you. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Well, we have in the GSD people running side hobbies that are making $500,000 a year, so it can be done. And we're going to help this guy fix his shit and build a real business by going through and making it happen. So let's jump over to the next part, and I'll see you in there. Let's get shit done.
So right now what just happened was earlier this week, we did the research call, right? And on that research call, we basically realized three things. One, there's no business here yet. Two, you have no idea who you're talking to. Three, you're wasting way too much of your fucking time on building websites and doing landing pages and trying to do this when you're trying to talk to, I believe it was coaches and roofers at the same time, right? And four, you have started multiple times on a business, but really what you've built is a side hustle that isn't working out because you have a full-time job and you're just not going all in on a company. You're not focused enough in that. Is that correct?
That's correct. I went because obviously I had local trade and coaches, so I got to builders and roofers, and then you were kind of like, you kind of need one. And I was on a call with UpHex with Sam as part of my agency, like the ads, and Sam said the same. He said, just fucking pick one, right? So I was like, okay, roofers, because again, builders is still two. Am I commercial builders? Am I private? So if I was to really niche down, it would be residential roofing is who I'd want to go after, rather than commercial, because I feel more comfortable in that space. I've got friends that are roofers and I've got friends that are builders. What I understand about the roofing business, most of them don't plan for some form of growth and exit, i.e. getting off the tools and having a business. They get to my age and then they are crippled in their backs, or they're just too old to be getting up on the ladder. And most of my friends have got to my age and gone, I've just had to change. I've gone into kitchens, or I've gone into this. So they're not building a sustainable business.
Without all the fancy words and all that shit, the pain point you're helping them solve is they don't have time. They're on jobs themselves. They don't have time to proactively go get new leads. The real end result is not the leads. It's the fact that you're helping them build a sustainable business that they can move themselves from at some point. The mechanism happens to be the leads. Okay. What we just found out is you need to make 120 conversations at a 5% booking rate to get your first $5,000 deal, which means we can 10x your revenue just by following that roadmap. But once you actually get them on the call, your sales skills you're saying are pretty good. That means we know now what the roadmap is to actually get to that point. So now, like you just said, it's okay, well, where do I go to get consistent? What do I do to start those conversations? So this is where we're going to get into a couple of things that I want to tell you. For the roadmap, what I want you to do is the first thing you're going to do is what we call create your hunting grounds. Okay. What does that mean? It means you're going to take an Excel spreadsheet. On that Excel spreadsheet, you're going to then go over here and you're going to say, all right, let me go to roofers. All right. First thing you're going to do is you're going to go actually got groups. So you're going to grab this. You're going to put this on a spreadsheet. Here's a roofers group of 62,000 people, right? After you grab as many of those groups as you can, you're going to go to people. You're going to see, are these roofers? Roofers. So then you're going to have a list of these people. So you're going to grab this link. You're going to put it on your thing. Then you're going to go, okay, let's go to LinkedIn. You're going to type in roofer. Cool. And you're going to go people. You can get a tool like Linked Helper 2 or Snove.io. This one actually also.
I've got a couple of LinkedIn tools. Yeah.
Perfect. Good. And then you're going to go to Instagram, and then you're going to go wherever you need to go, so that it's basically as if Bill Gates and Mark Zuckerberg spent 20 years and billions of dollars building you the perfect database of your clients. Okay. So you're going to go to your hunting grounds and you're going to send 30 to 50 messages a day, which is going to fucking suck. Okay. That's a lot of these. This is nobody wants to do cold DMs. And I'm not one of those coaches that says, look, what we tell you guys all the time is earn your way to hot conversations. Obviously, what we would like is hot conversations. That's inbound DMs and engagement on our posts, right? If we had 50 of those a day, you'd be good, but you don't have a lot of friends right now on your Facebook page, so you got to send cold ones. Warm is going to be your friends list. Cold is going to be strangers. Most of what you're going to be doing in the beginning, sending messages to strangers on LinkedIn, on Facebook, everywhere. But if you add 30 to 50 targeted friends and connections per day, then you're going to eventually have warm. And then if you post content every day, and this one, man, I would do nothing but document Greg. Just talk about, well, hey, you know, I had a client recently that had this problem. These are the things I'm planning to do. Hey, these are the things I did for him. Hey, here's the results I got for him. Like, just document, don't create what you did for Greg as you add friends, and then you do 2-step posts and all that shit around it. This is going to be a future thing, but it's going to be something you wake up every day and you feel like, you know, I use a Mr. Beast quote now. It's like, you know, just do your first 100 videos and eat shit and understand nobody gives a shit and nobody's going to watch them, so that you can get to your 101st video where it starts to get better. And all you're trying to do is improve along the way. I used to live by that. When I first started doing some of this stuff, I would go live all the time on my Facebook page and get 1 like, 0 likes, all that stuff. But I landed a $10,000 a month fintech app company to do their marketing that had investor money backed for them, all because they watched something on my video on my Facebook page after I initially sent them an email. And so that kind of stuff is still out there working for you. Third thing here, this is going to be per day, per platform. Okay. Third thing or fifth thing here that I want you to do is you're going to do 30 to 50 cold calls per day. Notice how all of this shit sucks. I understand. I understand that completely. And you know what? I want to get to one thing on here so that you are at least a little bit motivated to not be like, I don't want to do any of this shit. I quit. I'm going back to my job. Because that's not what we're supposed to be doing here. All right. So I know you've seen this, I think. Let me grab it for you. So everything that we do in the GSD and everything that I teach, you always want to boil it down into frameworks. Frameworks work as magnets, as foundations, as things to reference back to always, right? That's why you hear us in the GSM talking about the perfect stranger method for organic marketing. I'm talking about soap ads for ads. I'm talking about rapid fire testing for ads. It's all of these things are frameworks. No matter what happens, no matter what evolves, no matter what else is going on, I can refer back to these basic foundational things constantly so that you guys can do well, right? So that we always know where we should be on a path. So this is what I'm talking about here. And I got optimal selling strategy is a term I got out of a book, Ready, Fire, Aim by Michael Masterson. If you've not read that, it's a good book. But the concept for me is it's where your money and time are best invested along with what offer and message in order to produce sales. In life, you've got 2 resources. You have time and money. Right now, you're making $500 a month for this. I know you've got your job outside of this, but let's stick to the business, right? You're making not enough money to invest money into this. You don't want to be wasting money on ads. So what does that mean? It means we have to invest time. So phase 1 is usually finding the optimal selling strategy, meaning investing our time in multiple organic marketing avenues in order to find our optimal selling strategy. This is where you're at right now. All right. So today and over this week, we figured out who you're talking to. We figured out what you're going to say. Now you have to go out and figure out where do I say that and who do I say it to specifically on a consistent basis. Meaning Facebook outreach, doing content, LinkedIn automation, cold email, IG outreach. Once you start to find who you're making money from, so you make a couple sales, you start to book a couple calls, all this kind of shit, all of a sudden you have this phase 2, which is focusing on your optimal selling strategy. That's focusing all of our time. So like, okay, cool, man, I'm getting so much response on Facebook. Why don't I go just focus my time on Facebook? Because I'm making money there. That makes sense. So we focus our time on that one outreach message where we're honing in our platform specific messaging, honing in our specific content, growing our list. And then eventually we get to where we don't have to send DMs anymore because we're scaling through paid traffic. We know what platform our people are on. We know what offer they're going to eat up. And so we scale that with paid traffic, soap ads method, rapid fire testing, and actually scaling our winners from here. So I'm going to send you that PDF just so you have this as a reference point to go on. I'm going to also just circle back over to here. Now, the one thing I forgot to put on top of here that's going to be probably the most important part, because you have a job outside of this and you do other shit. You need to do this first is time block all of these activities and do them no matter what. Okay. All of this shit. The other thing that you need to be doing that you are doing, 6, is engaging in other people's groups. I love that you're already doing that. These are the question posts, the value posts, the commenting to answer questions, right? All of that kind of shit. This is going to get you probably your first sales. You've already, sounds like you've got people on there with questions that are already looking to give you your first sales. Okay. So this is your list of shit that I want you to do. Okay. Are you able to religiously stick to this for 30 days, no matter what?
Yes. I'm going to say yes, and I'm going to work fucking hard to do so.
Good. Now, because you gave me the correct answer, I'm going to do a couple of things for you. Two things. One, I'm going to make you some outreach scripts. We have customizable outreach scripts that normally only GST Inner Circle people get. I'm going to make them for you because you're telling me you're committing to something and you're going to get shit done, and you've been a good sport about all of this so far. So I want to make sure that we really help you out. I'm also going to give you potentially a cold dial script as well. It's going to be very short. It's just a triage script for it. And then third, I know you recently, I think, stepped away from the VIP. Even though you were in there still, I'm going to leave you in the Diamond Club, the VIP, for 30 days for free, because I want you to be on those Thursday calls for me to check in with you on all of this shit. Doing all of this because, again, one, you've been a good sport about all of this, but two, you just gave me the right answer. I'm going to fucking put the work in. I'm going to do the thing. If at any point in the next little bit I check in with you and you're not doing the thing, I'm going to kick you out and we're going to cut ties, because that's the point of this whole thing is to.
Yeah, no, I get that. Yeah, no.
All right, one last time. What are we doing this month?
Gonna fucking get outside of my comfort zone and do outreach and get a sale.
Awesome. So what else are we going to do this month?
Get shit done.
That's right, man. Good, Steven. All right, man. I appreciate you a lot. This has been fantastic through this month.
No, it's been wonderful.
How do you feel like you're going to be in 30 days?
Tired but happy.
Tired but happy is the right answer, man. Good. All right.
Yeah.
Cool, man. I appreciate you. I'll get you over those assets, I promise you, and we'll continue the conversation from there. All right, my man?
Cheers. Thanks, Cody. Take care, buddy. Bye.
Bye-bye.